Spiritual warfare is raging right now between good and evil, and the battles for your mind and arenas in your mind, where spiritual conflicts that shape your life are won or lost. I'm Spiro Dimitriadi and thrilled to share a unique resource, my new book, How to Kill PTSD Before It Kills You. Discover the secrets of spiritual combatives to prevent or tap out PTSD. I draw from my journey as a devoted Christian, a father, a veteran, and businessman. Over decades, I've delivered combatives training and night vision gear to thousands of military and law enforcement personnel with a clear mission: train and equip those on the front lines, ensuring they return home to their families alive and in one piece. I now have a new mission. Now this book is created for veterans and those in demanding roles, former or current military, law enforcement, and firefighters who face silent battles within. This book uses your language to truly resonate and is heavily based on God's Word, giving you a solid foundation of the Christian faith. Just as it's easier to defend a hilltop than it is to take it, as a Christian, you're already victorious because of Jesus' sacrifice. Your mission is to hold the hilltop against spiritual adversaries who aim to knock you off the hilltop. Remember, you're fighting from victory and not for victory. You'll learn to apply spiritual combatives, which is close quarters battle against an enemy who wants to utterly destroy you, in the invisible spiritual world that manifests in the visible physical world, as stated in the Bible. In Ephesians 6:12, where it says, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." Billions are spent on self-help and fitness courses and psychological services, but the spiritual part of our lives is often overlooked. This book bridges the gap by emphasizing spiritual well-being and understanding spiritual warfare to prevent or kill PTSD. In the mid-90s, I was the first military and law enforcement combatives director at Gracie Academy headquarters in Torrance, now Gracie University. My mission back then was to convince law enforcement officers that only relied on stand-up based self-defense techniques to also embrace Gracie Jiu-Jitsu ground fighting. Resistance was common, as officers would say, "I'll fight from a stand-up position and not from the ground." My response was, what if the fight goes to the ground against your will? Do you know how to defend yourself and prevent the suspect from taking your weapon? The silence was deafening and revealed a significant gap in readiness and understanding. I share my background not to impress you, but to impress upon you to never underestimate spiritual warfare, much like those officers back then who underestimated the necessity of ground fighting, which today thankfully is widely embraced. Are you prepared for when your spiritual fight goes to the ground, so to speak? Also in this book, you'll find a sitrep of the world today, a salute report, intel on your enemy, Satan and his demons, intel on friendly forces, God and his resources, biblical truths, the whole armor of God with a detailed breakdown, the power of words and thoughts, how to be an effective prayer warrior, the OODA loop applied to spiritual warfare, faith and an unbeatable mindset, and a lot more. This book reinforces the assurance of brighter days ahead for you. The world needs you and wants you. Together, let's not just survive, but thrive in this journey called life. I've got your six, and so does God. Hooah! Transform your life by clicking on the link and purchasing this book. God bless you.